Hey guys, my name is Fake Thriller. I'm bringing you a breakdown of Demolition on Salvage. I'm hoping to give you some information to help you play this map better, as well as give you some tips to just increase your overall Call of Duty gameplay. We're going to start out by taking a look at the opening routes and where you might first run into enemy fire. Okay, the first path we're going to look at is coming up the right side. You're first going to run into enemies coming out the exit of the warehouse here or across Car Alley. Now these don't necessarily have to be rushers with Marathon. They're long lines of sight, so you could run into an assault rifle, an LMG, or a sniper rifle. The middle path is the most dangerous route. It'll lead you straight into their base, but you should expect to take fire from any possible side. And watch out for the camper's dumpster in the back corner. You'll always find someone back there. The final path to the left is filled with corners and tight passageways. Watch out for shotguns and noob tubes. Be mindful of the 3 windows on the second level of the warehouse. Also, this container to the right is a great place for the enemy to set up claymores. Watch your step. The next area I want to point out is this blue elevated platform. This is a great spot. Whoever holds this part of the map holds an advantage. If the attacking team holds it, you can pick off members of the defense as they wander too far into your base. If the defense holds it, they could trap you in your spawn. Be mindful of the 3 windows I pointed out earlier. They have a great sight line to this platform. Enemies will often push up the middle path and stand behind these barrels. Stay out of this open doghouse area to avoid unnecessary deaths. You won't gain much by spending any time in this house. It's only good for dodging air support. Be wary of defensive rushers setting up tactical insertions on the second floor. The way I like to start out Demolition on Salvage is by running up to this car here, taking cover behind it, and using the angle to protect myself while having a good shot at any enemies that run up through that pipe. Using a high-powered assault rifle like the FAMAS or the SCAR, something with low recoil, you can usually pick off 2-3 kills depending on how many people come this way. As you can see there, none came, but trust me, it works. Right here, I decided to cover my team from anyone coming out of the warehouse, but my teammate rushes up that way, and you can tell by the UAV that my another teammates cover in Car Alley. So I decided to double back, play a little bit closer to the bomb, and cover the one angle that hasn't been yet covered by a teammate, and that's down this hallway with the fiery barrels. Now, normally planting the B-bomb on a map like Salvage first is kind of a mistake, and I wouldn't recommend doing it. The team member who planted the bomb isn't part of my normal team. He's just a random that we got thrown into a lobby with. However, it's not nearly as bad as, say, a State or Afghan. It's not totally undoable if you pick the wrong bomb plant first. So you see there, I'm using the dumpster and the crushed car blocks to my advantage to sort of pick off any enemies. I'm trying to get the engagement on my terms. I don't want to put myself out in the open too much, and right there I think I spent a little bit too much time in between the cover, and I was able to get picked off. As you can see, we got the B-bomb. We're moving on to A now, and I make a classic mistake of not watching my UAV and noticing that it gets scrambled out. I pay the price by getting mowed down by a shotgun off to my right. It doesn't necessarily make a difference. I don't think I would have been able to stop that bomb diffuser in enough time. He had pretty good position behind the bomb, and that's another thing that I can suggest is being aware of where you're picking up the bomb. Try and get yourself out of any sight lines, and in that case, the bomb diffuser did a good job. Now, we're going to move up again, but before we do that, the platform I was just on at the top of that container is a great spot to be after you planted the bomb. It can help pick off enemy team members as they try and reinforce the bomb site. Now what's going to happen here is I line myself up well because I see the UAV is showing me I got a lot of red dots and they're going to come out my way. So I create a small opening for them to come out, and I cover it with my death laser FAMAS, and I pick them off. 1, 2, 3. Number three's coming. Here it goes. I get my Predator missile. Now is not the time to launch it. I spend a little bit more time defending the bomb site, and eventually end up eating a Semtex. But I did what I needed to do. I kept them off the bomb for long enough for my team to swarm, and you can see here I take an unnecessary death. There was only 5 seconds left. There was no way I was going to make it back to the bomb site. I should have just played it cool in my base, and we still would have won the match, and I would have been one death. One death. Moving into the second round, I have a Harrier in my pocket and a Predator missile. And Demolition, being the wonderful game type that it is, lets you launch him right off the bat. So I don't hesitate. I throw it right down the center of their spawn area, and then I launch my Predator missile. I ended up pulling off 3 kills, one with the airstrike, one with the Predator missile, and then a third with the skull and crossbones. Not quite sure what that third kill is, but I'll take it. What I like to do is I like to cover up B-side, because like the team that we were playing with, a lot of randoms who are unorganized try and go for the B-bomb first, and it's usually a few free kills. You see here I get killed by a Harrier. Nobody came down the B-side, and this is a point where I don't realize it yet, but soon I will realize that I'm running around sort of without an objective. And that's something you got to do. If you realize nothing's sort of working for you, you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, you need to take a step back and analyze the situation. Try and figure out what you want to do, what your overall goal is, and then pick an action on how to execute that goal. It's tough when it's both bombs left on demo. So, you know, I almost prefer to let them take a bomb so we can focus on defending on one single bomb. It's the mark of a strategist. You know, you don't want to just run around, especially with a FAMAS. You can't risk getting in up close confrontations. And Salvage, if you're not careful, is full of up close confrontations. As you can see, I'm just spawning and people are sprinting out in front of me. So if you find yourself just running into a bunch of meaningless deaths that didn't need to happen, try and take a step back and sort of realize what your overall goal is. I'm going to figure it out in just a bit. After this crazy Semtex fail, I thought for sure I was going to get this bomb planter, but it didn't happen, and I just wanted to sort of point it out. I understand why it didn't work. I think I wedged my Semtex in behind the bomb site, which must give him cover, but just this image right here, how does someone not die from that? But it's not that big of a deal. You know, they plant the bomb, and that's fine. You know, let them take B, and then we'll just kick them around all day on their way to A. Try and plant this guy's. I try and camp this guy's tactical insertion, and it backfires immediately when he spawns with Painkiller. I think I put 2 or 3 bursts into him, and it still wasn't enough, but maybe 2 bursts, that makes sort of sense. But I get my revenge, and I get his friend, so I start to focus now. I see there's only 10 seconds left on the B-bomb. I'm pretty sure we're not going to defuse that, so it's time to start buckling down and defending A. And I have a nice little spot that I'll show you in just a minute once I actually get there. It works really well with the FAMAS, but we'll talk about that more later. I'm taking a lot of meaningless deaths here. I just need to get my my focus goggles on. I need to actually see, and I'm making a huge mistake here. I'm really abandoning the A-bomb. I'm on the complete opposite side of the map, just trying to go for some kills. I'm being very selfish, and I'm not helping my team at all. I end up waiting here for quite a while, and it doesn't pay off at all. So, again, you know, I try to take my own advice, but the advice I can give to somebody is when you realize things aren't going well, change your strategy up, and refocus. And you're gonna see here, I get 2 guys coming up, and my attention sort of gets split, and I get noobed too. Didn't kill either one. So this is the spot that I was telling you about. I actually find this to be a very handy spot, hiding behind this Jersey barrier. You can cover the middle path, and you can cover car alley. Anybody coming from either of these places, and this is kind of pretty much where I camp it up for the rest of the match. There's real no reason to leave this spot. It funnels the guys right to me, and if they're dumb enough not to be paying attention, then they're dumb enough to die, to put it bluntly. The best part of this spot that I'm in right now, too, is even when they pull their noob tubes out like they are right now, they have to get a precision shot with the noob tube. They can't hit me in the front, or else the Jersey barrier will soak up the damage. They're going to have to drop it just past me. Like that guy actually had a pretty good placement right there, but I wasn't in the way anymore. The other thing that I have to worry about is either people coming out the far left all the way down past the B-bomb and then through the warehouse or over the dumpster, and that's a very indirect route. They won't get to me from those routes without running to my teammates first. And then the other one that the only one I really have to worry about is up to the right, that platform just out of view, up to the right with the sandbags on it. If an animator were to get up there, he'd have pretty good position and be able to pick me off. Plus, I'm not even looking that way, but I'm putting a lot of faith into my teammate. If you look at the UAV, there's one up in the three-windowed room, and hopefully he's watching that whole flank. And now we have a UAV up, so we can do a better job of tracking the enemy. Now, something interesting is actually going to happen here. While we have the UAV up, there's a severe lack of pressure coming from the attacking team, and it throws me off. I don't know if it throws the rest of my team off, but you'll see I don't really understand what's going on. I think I hear footsteps, but it's just my teammate, and I'm starting to get a little nervous. I should have just stayed behind my barrier and try to defend, but as you're going to see, it threw me all off, and I ended up taking a death. After I respawn, I go right back for the immediate revenge kill, just a matter of pride. I get blown away with a shotgun, and I decide it's time to just lay low for the next 20 seconds, and we'll get ourselves a win. No need to die anymore. Just time to hold down the fort for 20 more seconds. I appreciate you guys checking out this video. If it helped you, give me a thumbs up. That actually really helps. And if I've kept you entertained for this long, do me a favor and subscribe if you like it, if you want to see some more. I enjoy making these videos for you guys. I like analyzing the gameplay. My final score, 34 and 15. Decent ratio, and if you follow these tips, you can probably get something similar to that, if not better. I don't claim to be the best, but I like to share my knowledge. So, for Shustybang, I'm Fake Thriller. Peace.